Welcome to today's deep dive into one of the most shocking crime cases in American history. We're uncovering the story of Ray and Faye Copeland, a couple who, in their later years, became the oldest couple ever sentenced to death in the United States. This tale of deceit, manipulation, and cold-blooded murder is a story that gripped the nation and left many horrified by the darkness that can lurk in seemingly ordinary people. Ray Copeland was born on December 30, 1914, in Oklahoma, during a time when America was struggling through World War I and the Great Depression loomed on the horizon. Growing up in a poor farming family, Ray quickly learned that life wasn't easy, and from an early age, he developed a reputation for dishonesty and petty crime. As a teenager, he began stealing livestock, a habit that would continue into his adult life. These early encounters with the law would set the stage for his future criminal endeavors. Faye Wilson, who would later become Ray's partner in life and crime, was born on August 4, 1921, in Harrison, Arkansas. She came from a hard-working family and was described as a quiet, kind-hearted woman who married Ray Copeland when she was just 19 years old. The couple settled down in Missouri, where they tried to build a life on a small farm. Together, they raised 5 children, trying to make a living from the land. But as time went on, their financial struggles deepened and Ray's frustration grew. Ray Copeland's criminal record continued to expand as he was repeatedly caught stealing livestock and writing bad checks. Each time he was arrested, he seemed to learn more about how to manipulate the system. Eventually, Ray developed a more elaborate scheme to profit from his criminal activities. But this time, he wasn't going to do it alone. He would need the help of his loyal wife, Faye. By the late 1980s, the Copelands were in their 70s. But they were far from your typical elderly couple. Ray had devised a new plan that would exploit the vulnerability of transient workers. Men who were down on their luck and willing to do just about anything for a bit of money and a place to stay. Ray would offer these men temporary work on his farm, promising them fair wages. But the job came with a dark twist that none of these men saw coming. Ray's plan was simple yet devious. He would use these drifters to purchase cattle using fraudulent checks. Since these men were often untraceable and had no real ties to the area, Ray believed that if something went wrong, he could easily pin the blame on them and move on to his next victim. To his twisted logic, these men were expendable assets, and he treated them as such. As soon as a worker's usefulness ran out, they would mysteriously disappear. The local community didn't pay much attention to the drifters coming and going, and no one seemed to notice when they vanished. But as more and more men began to go missing, suspicions grew. It wasn't until a concerned family member of one of the missing men reported his disappearance that authorities began to take a closer look at Ray and Faye Copeland. In 1989, law enforcement received a tip that led them to search the Copeland farm. What they found was beyond anyone's worst nightmares. Hidden on the property were the shallow graves of several missing workers. Each body bore signs of a violent death, typically a gunshot wound to the head, indicating that these men were executed with cold precision. The investigation into Ray and Faye's activities revealed that at least 5 men had been murdered in their scheme, though many believe the true number could be much higher. The Copelands had managed to operate their deadly scam for years, using the transient nature of their victims to avoid detection. During the trial, the case against Ray and Faye Copeland shocked the nation. Faye maintained her innocence, claiming that she was unaware of her husband's gruesome deeds. She portrayed herself as a loyal wife who simply followed Ray's instructions out of fear and obligation. However, the evidence told a different story. Investigators discovered a list in Faye's handwriting with the names of their victims marked off like a grocery list, clear proof of her involvement in the murders. Ray Copeland was convicted and sentenced to death, making him one of the oldest men ever to receive such a sentence. Faye was also convicted and sentenced to death. but her sentence was later commuted to life in prison due to her declining health and age. Their story became a macabre example of how desperation, greed, and manipulation could lead to a path of unimaginable violence. To this day, the motives behind the Copeland's actions remain a topic of debate. Was Faye truly a pawn in Ray's deadly game? Or was she an equal partner in the cold and calculated murders? Did they kill out of financial necessity, or did Ray and Faye enjoy the power they wielded over their unsuspecting victims? These questions linger, casting a shadow over the legacy of this elderly couple turned killers. In the years that followed their convictions, the Copeland case has become a symbol of betrayal, illustrating the dark side of human nature hidden behind the facade of normalcy. The case continues to be studied by criminologists and psychologists who seek to understand what drove this couple to commit such horrific acts so late in their lives. Ray Copeland died of natural causes on October 19, 1993, while awaiting execution. Faye Copeland, whose death sentence was overturned due to her deteriorating health, continued to serve her life sentence until she was paroled in 2002. She passed away in a nursing home in 2003, never fully answering for her role in the brutal scheme that shocked a nation. As we look back at the twisted tale of Ray and Faye Copeland, we are reminded that evil can take many forms, often hidden in plain sight. This story serves as a chilling reminder that even the most unassuming individuals can harbor the darkest of secrets, and while justice was eventually served, the lives lost to their treachery can never be replaced. Stay tuned for more true crime stories as we continue to explore the minds of the most notorious criminals in history. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. And as always, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think motivated the Copelands to commit these heinous acts so late in life? We'd love to hear your theories. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.